Hello and welcome to another episode. Okay, let's try that again. Hello and welcome to another... What the fuck? Am I losing my mind or is there whatever? Hello and welcome to another... Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy or Chris, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I'm going to be doing a review for Cows by Matt Stokoe. Cows was published in 1998, and I've seen this book on a lot of lists or just people talking about it. It's pretty controversial for how disturbing or gross that it is. And then I had a friend recommend it to me, and we're not friends anymore. In Cows, we follow Steven. He lives in a flat with his mother, whom he calls the Hag Beast. She's really fat and filthy, a disgusting woman. He also lives with his dog, whom the mother has disabled with a brick a long time ago, and she pees on it all the time, and just his whole life just seems really disgusting. And Steven also feels very powerless in his life and in the world that he's in. His mother controls everything that he does. He doesn't really have any friends, a social life. He has a girl that he has a crush on upstairs, but there's really nothing going for him. He also is just obsessed with the perfect lives that he sees on TV. That's what he really, really wants, is a TV life. He gets a job at a slaughterhouse, and he pretty quickly meets some really horrific dudes in there who are doing really, really, really fucked up things to cow. Yeah, they do just heinous stuff to cows. Use your imagination. Steven gets coaxed into joining in on the fun. Then he meets a talking cow. This cow has escaped and lives underground with other cows that have escaped, and they have their own kind of budding civilization down there. And they want Steven to help them kill all these guys who are doing all these horrible things in the slaughterhouse. And so he does. And then he kind of becomes king of the cows for a while, and his whole personality begins to change after this. He ends up killing his mother. He has killed all these guys in the plant. He's helping the cows to experience that feeling of kind of taking control of your life, holding that kind of power over someone else. And they kind of become bloodthirsty. He is on a bit of a power trip. And then eventually the cow that he first started talking to takes over the rest of the cow society underground and is teaching them to be civilized. Steven hates this, so he ends up killing him, and there's a huge power struggle, and then he just remains the king of the cows, and what kind of ends. Yeah, the book is super gross. They eat poop multiple times in it. There's blood and shit and all manner of excrement and bodily fluids. And there's sex and a lot of it, and not a single time is it enjoyable to read at all. It's just so fucked up every single time. I mean, there's a part in this where our main character has sex with the girl he has a crush on, and she has a colonoscopy thing up her butt, and yeah, and that's pretty early on in the book. That is one of the more tame things that happens in this. But even with all of this disgusting shit going on, underneath, there's a very interesting and gripping story with some really interesting themes that I think are done pretty successfully. So on its surface, this book is pretty fucked. But underneath is a story about a guy who just has no control over his life. He yearns for more, and he takes control of that. But the ways in which he takes control of that are incredibly extreme and violent. He really does find power through killing. He kills cows. He helps the cows kill the men who are doing all these horrible things to them. He kills his mother to gain control over his home. It gives him a sense of purpose. and a sense of meaning in his life that he finds meaningless. And the same with the cows that he then teaches to kill as well. They find that until eventually they become more civilized and realize that we don't need to do this anymore. And Stephen hates that, because then who is he? He's the guy who taught him to kill. What is he without that? So he continues to ramp that up and like really can't let it go, because it's really the only thing that has any meaning in his life. He also dreams of being in love and kind of really forces the girl that he has a crush on to like move in with him, and he gets her pregnant. He really wants that TV world that I was talking about earlier. That's what he wants so bad. He's constantly thinking about that and talking about it, but he can never quite seem to grasp it because it's not right. It's all a facade. Everything about this guy's life that he's done post taking control of it is just a facade. And so I think that's why he keeps doing like more and more extreme things, or going back to the things that actually made him feel alive in the first place, because what he wants when he finally obtains it, it doesn't feel like anything to him, because it's nothing. And yeah, I think that in that struggle to feel like he's normal and to have a normal life, the way in which he got there has changed him into something completely different. Those things are never going to make him happy. I think that it's a really interesting thing when it comes to like submission and power and domination and just like lust and longing for a life. But once you obtain that life, is that really what you want? I don't know. It's about a lot of things like that. It's also about piss and shit and cum and puke. And when it comes to characters, I didn't think that the characters in this were very bad at all. I think they all stood on their own, even if they did have cow diarrhea in their mouth. I think that it touches on things like mental health really well, especially with Lucy, his girlfriend, and her sickness. The whole book, she's obsessed with finding some kind of sickness inside of her, and cutting it out. She thinks that there's something inside of her and she needs to get it out, but she can't quite figure out how to do it or where it is. Eventually, it leads to her own death. And, I mean, in terms of writing, I thought that this was really well written, even as crazy and extreme and as absurd as it was. I still enjoyed it. I still thought it was, like, engrossing. Emphasis on the gross. But overall, I think I would give Cows a 2 out of 5. I probably would have given it a 1 out of 5. I mean, it's just gross mostly for the most part. I'm not into this kind of stuff. It's not really for me. But I did think that the story that it's telling and what it's trying to say are pretty good. I liked that despite all of the shock and the cow fucking and all of that. I did think that it was an enjoyable book. I was never not entertained, I guess. Just mostly found it gross. I can't honestly say or recommend that anybody read it. But if you want to read like a pretty good book that is also really gross and disgusting and full of just like the nastiest things ever, give it a shot. But what do you think? Have you read Cows? God, I hope you haven't. But what do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to like the video. Moo at the subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.